Hello friends and welcome to A Decorative Home. I'm Jen. Today I'm going to share with you all how I created this decorative wood bead garland. My supplies consisted of jute string, scissors, an old dish towel, wax paper, white paint, beads that I grabbed at Hobby Lobby, wood skewers, and an old styrofoam that I had laying around. I took the wood skewers and placed them into the styrofoam so as I painted the wood beads, I could go ahead and put the beads on the skewers to dry. I went ahead and cut a section of towel out. I'm going to use that section to go ahead and paint the beads with. This towel is a tea towel, so I won't have to worry about any fibers getting into my paint. Now I'm just putting a little wax paper out, and then I'm going to put my paint on the wax paper. Wood beads that I'm using was actually already a garland. I grabbed it at Hobby Lobby when it was on sale for 40% off the original price, and I believe that price was $8.99. I figured it would have been cheaper to do it this way than to grab a container of the beads. My plan was to go ahead and do like a whitewash to the beads, so the natural color of this garland was going to work perfectly for what I had in mind. After collecting about 54 of the wood beads, I went ahead and poured out my white acrylic paint onto the wax paper. Then taking that section of towel that I had cut, I used that to dip into the white paint and then spread it all over the wood beads to get the amount of coverage that I wanted on each of the beads. At first I was just dipping my towel into the paint and then rubbing it all over the wood bead. I quickly discovered that it was easier to take the bead and kind of roll it around into the cloth. I did end up with a whole bunch of paint all over my hands, so maybe next time I would probably just use some rubber gloves or something to protect my hands. It was washable, so it came off, no big deal. It just took a little extra scrubbing is all. Because I didn't use much paint on the wood beads, it didn't take them very long to dry on the wood skewers, and then I was able to start stringing them on my jute string. Now I'm going to take that jute string and make a tassel. I'm taking and wrapping it around my hand about 30 times. Since I'm doing two of them, I want to know how many times I'm going around my hand so I can make the other one the same thickness as this one. Once I'm done wrapping it around my hand 30 times, I go ahead and cut it off, and then I want to make sure that the very top of the tassel, like the looped part, is nice and flat looking and even. So I'm just trying to get that nice and straightened out right now. Then I'm going to go ahead and go in and take another piece of string and cut it, and then I'm going to wrap it about a half an inch from the top of the loop, down from the top of the loop, wrap that around, and then go ahead and secure that with a knot. It did take me a couple tries to get the tassels just perfect. I took them apart and then re-flattened out the tops of the loops to make them nice and even, and then went ahead and wrapped the string back around it and tied it nice and tight. Once I had the string wrapped around the top of the tassel and nice and tight, I went ahead and took my scissors at the bottom of the tassel and cut right on the loop. This is going to give you the fringe part. And then after I had that cut, I went back in and kind of cut them just a little bit off the ends just to even it all up. I forgot to mention that I did take and cut the ends of the string back as far as I could without cutting that knot. And then later on, I'll go in with a lighter and carefully, very carefully, light the ends just so it won't fray. And then I kind of took what little bit of end there was and tucked it down into the loop of the tassel. Since I needed 2 tassels, I went ahead and did that whole process all over again, and then I just kind of set those aside. Then I grabbed my jute string again, leaving it on the roll. I went and put a little bit of painter's tape at the very end of the string. This is going to help feed the beads onto the string itself. With all 54 beads strung on the jute string, I went ahead and added my tassels on. So I just kind of took my scissors and went ahead and worked my way into the loop so it would be easier to put my string in. So I pulled that up as tight as I could to the bead, and then I just kind of wrapped it around a couple times before I tied it, and then made sure I tied it really secure. And then I repeated the same process at the other end. Now that I got the tassels secured onto the garland, I went ahead and cut off the extra string, and then I was going to go ahead and try to tuck that extra string up into the bead, but I cut it probably a little shorter to be able to do it that way. So I went back in again very carefully with my lighter, and I lit the very end of the string. That way it won't go ahead and fray on me and come apart. I'm really happy how this would-be garland turned out. I can't wait to use it to decorate with. We're heading into the fall season, and I have an idea of exactly how I want to use these. I might be able to use them in my Christmas decorations as well, but I know I can use them in my everyday decorations. So I'm really excited to be able to decorate with these cute little wood bead garlands. I would love to know how you would use this wood bead garland to decorate in your home. Go ahead and leave a comment below telling me how you would use them. If you enjoyed this video, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on that bell to be notified whenever we have new videos up.